Welcome to the JPT sub, everyone. Today, let's do a long overdue update on the Oxford Station build. I haven't really done a whole lot with the build here. I've done a few little things since the last update. Not the least of which is made a new roof here. Still got to cut out for the skylights. That's probably next on the list for that building, and then some. Then it'll be time to start painting it. You can tell I painted some of the windows, but I haven't done all the window frames yet. So I need to get those painted, and then I can install the windows. And the building itself is actually pretty close to being done, so it's got a little bit left. I've made a little progress on the canopies. One of the things that I'm not good at is filling seams on models. And all of these canopies are going to have seams because I can only make them so big at a time. And obviously the model's super long. So that's one of the things, one of my things I am going to be working on here is learning how to do seam work. So I've got a bunch of scrap pieces that I'll be using to do that before I actually do the hard work on the canopies. But once I get the seams filled on them, then I can put lights underneath them and light that part up. But before any of that, one of the reasons I really haven't done much on the Oxford build lately is I'm just not happy with the base. I saw this technique where somebody had done this with the 1x2 and put the foam core board on top, double thick to keep it from bowing, to make a base for the for their just a module. And to see it done, it looked great. They made it look like it worked perfect, everything. And I'm not saying it didn't for them, but it did not for me. And we talked about this before. I had that issue where it all kind of bowed down through here between every one of these joints. So I came back and I put this hardboard in here that's stiff, didn't really bow, but it's something about it's just not right. It's not flat down through there. It did not stay flat. So even though when I put it up down, I used the level and everything, and it was flat, but it's not flat anymore. Just, that's been an issue. So what I have decided is everything from above the 2x4s here up is coming off. And I'm going to put a flat deck on it, hardwood deck. Well, not hardwood, but wood deck. So that I have a nice solid base there. I still intend to do like what I talked about leaving the gap here so that I can do the below street level. That gives me all the way down to here, so I can kind of do where the bridge goes under. Viewing it from this side won't be so great, but viewing it from the other side will give you a nice look of the traffic going under the bridge and the footpath that goes under the bridge there. So that's an upcoming task, and I'm going to move you guys around here, so pardon the move on the tripod here, but a little closer look here at the station itself. And with these Great Western trains in the station here, it really starting to get the feel of the Oxford station. And I have some of these Freightliner painted J&A type ish wagons. They're 3D printed, just kind of a design I found online that's pretty generic, and I modified it a little bit, and they look really good. And I found a picture of a rake of those going through the station here, and I have to find out if I can use it from somebody before I show it, maybe in a future video. But I'd love to. When I put the wagons on here, it looks so much like the picture, and I'd love to be able to show you guys this guy's picture and my rake of wagons going through here when I get to that point. So we'll see, because it does look really sets the scene when you can compare it to that real picture and see it. But also with the 800s, I have a couple of pictures myself of the 800s in the station at Oxford, and we'll when we get a little farther along, we'll kind of stage those shots too, and we'll see how they look. But so far, I'm really happy with the buildings themselves, how they're coming together. The crosswalk bridge here, once I get the glass on it and it lit, it's going to look the part too. So everything has the right feel now at this end. So we're moving right along here. Down here at this next end, I'm looking at it from this side. Back here, I mean, this part's fine, and you can see the 3D printed platforms actually are just the right height for here, and they seem to have I've tried them with a few other engines and freight cars, and they seem to have a good clearance here, and I can tweak that as I go forward if I need to a little bit before I anchor them. But on the back side here, where these two canopies are back here, behind that there's a parking lot right here, and then starting about here roughly, there's a building coming this way back here, and that's my next actual build is the 3D print and build the building that goes there. And on this front edge, I don't think I'm going to put any 3D printed buildings or actual structure on the front side. What I thought about doing is making a photo backdrop that I can attach and unattach on this side. So depending on which side you're viewing the layout from, you can give it different looks. We'll see how that works. But one other thing too is as I was working on it and fitting everything in place, while it fits here on this workbench or baseboard, I should say, it's 17 inches, it's 15 inches wide now. What I really need is about 17 inches. I need 2 more inches of space. Would space everything out a little better on both sides and give you a lot more, just give it a better feel and flow. So when I replace this deck, it is going to be 2 inches wider. It's going to have an inch overhang on each side. Measured my space. I've got room to add those 2 extra inches, and I don't know why I didn't to begin with, but we're going to do that as part of that deck add, and then we'll see where it goes from there. So next, I'm going to start pulling things off the baseboard so that I can take this top section off, and then we'll go from there. There it is, a bare top. It's kind of a sad little sight, isn't it? The last thing to remove before we start is the Oxford station sign, which is a 3D print that I found the template for online, where you could make any station name you wanted. So I don't remember who designed that, but thank you. And there we go. Next up is to take all this hardboard off and foam core board and go from there. First part came off really easy. Now for the hard part, because this is glued over the top of the screw, so I'll have to just start ripping it out. Woo-wee, what a mess. Look at that, but the top's off. The next thing is going to be to unscrew all these boards and right here so that we can put the next deck on. Okay, here we go. We got all these boards screwed loose here. Start pulling those off. I already slid them down, obviously, so I could get to them at the end here. But we're just pulling it off, and we got a empty tabletop there. I mean, look at that. Wow, that's a lot of steps backwards right here, definitely. So from here, I'm going to wrap this video up, and then the next update in probably 2 weeks or so, maybe 3, we'll see putting the top on it and setting the stuff that's built back up there, and then we'll worry about positioning it and getting all that stuff right after we get to that point. So anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed this update, and probably kind of boring, but at least you can see what's going on. And appreciate y'all tuning in. If you have any comments, tips, suggestions, thoughts, love to hear them. You guys that have commented know that I take the time to read and respond to every comment, so really enjoy the interaction with you guys. So appreciate it. Thank you, and we'll see you next time right here on the JPT Sub.